A personal history of Southwest Mobile County is captured in a new book of stories and essays. It's called the Bayou Anthology, and we have the co-editors, Troy Vesper and Colleen Harrison, here to tell us about this fantastic anthology this morning. Good to see you both.
Good to be here. Thank you.
And Troy, I notice you have a copy of the actual book in your hand. Tell the folks about the Bayou Anthology.
The anthology is a product of the Bayou Anthology Historical Association, and it is a compilation of stories that cover several centuries. It has accounts of the hurricane in 1906, 1916, Frederick in 1979, and then Katrina. And the story is all personal, what people went through during that time. It has some humorous stories about fishing and boats sinking 3 times. It has some really nice biographies on people like Peter F. Alba, who Alba School was named after, and on Joe Kane, the refounder of Mardi Gras, who was a citizen of Mobile.
Such a rich history, and it's great to go back and hear some of these stories about how things came to be and why things are the way they are today. And you kind of broke this into 4 different parts. Can you talk to us about that?
Well, there's the history of the hurricanes and
fishy stories, and then memories and people.
Correct. And it's all just normal people writing about what they went through for their lives. And we may say today that, you know, my life is not interesting, but when we read their lives, it's really interesting. It's really fun. And so one of the things we want to do too is collect stories for the next book. Of everybody has a story to tell. So you tell your story about what school was like before computers, you know, what social life was like before iPhones. It's interesting to the next generation.
Continuing that evolving history because it's always moving forward. And you brought some great artifacts here as well too. Tell us what you brought to show us today.
Well, we brought the Native American history. A lot of that came from Duck Hill, which is what this picture is right here. The Native American history goes back very, very far, and it was an important site for the Native Americans down on the coast with the seafood and the salt collection. This picture here is John Lafitte the pirate. He supposedly had a camp down in Coden. The thing in the middle is the Bayou Battery Coden. That's the original one. It just says Bayou Battery.
I'll hold that up for our cameras to get it.
Now it's the Bayou Battery Coden Historical Foundation, and that was created by Anita Riva.
And then you brought a bunch of fantastic fishing lures as well. And you said Jason Smith is going to try.
I was making the comment. These are handmade. They're relatively old. You can see by the case. And I was thinking that it would be a test of Jason Smith's skill to see if he can make these work. They were created for the purpose of being working models, though.
That is fantastic. All right, so there is so much rich history to talk about and so many great stories in the book. Tell us how they can learn more about this history and pick up a copy of the book, guys.
You can get the book on the Bayou Anthology Historical Foundation Facebook. You also can write with Post Office Box 691, Coden, Alabama. You can contact myself at Troy Vesper at ivesper.aol.com for new submittals, and Colleen's email.
Yeah, it'll be on the website.
Yeah, and we have all that information, like she said, on the website too, so it's real easy for you to go there and just get all that information and find out more about this fantastic book. And again, bring your stories. That history is always growing, more things are happening, and they want to hear from you because that's what it's all about, the people who live these stories and tell these tales. And you can find our past in the Bayou Anthology right here. Guys, anything else we need to mention? Just pick it up. Read the book.
And read the book.
All right. Thank you so much for coming in and bringing all these great artifacts as well. All right. It's the first full week of school after the holidays. Some of you parents may have trouble getting